All right, welcome back. Welcome back. I hope you guys are doing an absolute madness, and you guys are doing a fun. You guys are having a fun time with what we are creating. One thing that I want you guys to understand is I want you guys to understand and know that we are having and we are here to absolutely give you guys every single thing in a sense. We're trying to give you guys a lot of of news that are happening right now. Um, we're gonna sign out and then we're gonna sign in. But I want you guys to absolutely know though. I want you guys to absolutely know that there's so many things happening right now. In the sports world, of course, we know the NBA finals begin today, and I'm excited. The NBA finals begin today, and I want you guys to absolutely join us because we are going to be covering that too. The NBA final begins today, and one thing about it is I'm absolutely going to cover it. Bear in mind, I am not an aficionado when it comes to the NBA, but one thing I do know is I do know a lot about what happens in the NBA. I do know, I followed it ever since I started watching basketball in general. So I'm pretty excited to see what is going to happen. I'm pretty excited to see what is going to happen. Um, there are so many storylines. We have Jason Tatum, um, absolutely being one of the standout candidates. Um, Jason Tatum absolutely being one of the standout candidates to become um, to become the MVP. Of course, we have situations where um, we have spoken about a lot about what is happening in a situation of. Let's get to it. Come on. I'm trying to get these things all going, but I'm doing a lot of things at once. Um, and I hope you guys bear with me as I go. Select stream. All right, perfect. So Manchester United right now, we are absolutely having a hard time. But one thing, the key thing about what is happening in the sports world is the key thing about what is happening in the sports world as we know it right now. And I'm absolutely going to read it for you guys just so you guys know what is happening. Um, just before we spoke about, I'm going to give you guys the start with. Manchester City launched legal action over financial rules. This is a response, this right here is a response to the Premier League bringing in 155 charges to Manchester City. Of course, we absolutely knew that they were going to fight this. We knew they were going to fight this. It was not if, it was a matter of when. This is coming from Simon Stone, who is a tier one reporter. Simon Stone, who is a tier one reporter, he goes, and this is an hour ago. He goes, Manchester City are due to face the Premier League in a legal battle over the organization's commercial rules next week. This is happening next week because the reason why it's happening next week is that from the 10th to the 21st of June, Manchester City are going to be facing the Premier League. Talking about the 115 charges, if I'm not mistaken. So we have the BBC saying here, BBC Stars understands an attribution hearing surrounding the legality of the league's associated party transaction rules, which determine whether sponsorship deals are financially fair, has been set for 10th to the 21st of June. This is exciting because we do not have to wait 10, 15 years for this to actually be resolved. In February, BBC reported that the Premier League was being threatened with legal action over changes to its rules. This is the key thing here. It started in February. They kept on talking about, hey, if you do not back down, we are going to bring charges against you. If you do not back down, we are going to bring charges against you. And this is the problem. Of course, it goes on to say it has been disclosed to the remaining Premier League clubs that Manchester City, the noisy neighbours, are the club in question, with the league offering the remaining 19 members of the opportunity to make witness statement as part of the case. This is key because remember, um, before Manchester United, or no, not Manchester United, before the Premier League can change a rule or can change a law, the Premier League has to get at least 14 clubs. The Premier League has to get at least 14 clubs on board to say yes before they change the rules. That's the key thing about it. So it's for before the Premier League change the rules, it has to be a majority vote. So it continues says neither the Premier League nor Manchester City have responded to the request for a comment on this case. However, the Times says it has seen a 165 page legal document in which Manchester City claim they are victims of discrimination. One thing that we absolutely know is the lawyers are absolutely going to bury you with legal documents. If you have not watched suits before, if you have never experienced a lawyer or how they basically go into trial or go to win a case, the first tactic is we are going to absolutely drag this out for the longest time. And if you do not have the money to keep up with us dragging it out, you are going to bail. And if you bail, then they get away with it. You absolutely get away with it if you do not have the money to keep on fighting. So he keeps on going here, says that the amended rules were approved by rivals to stifle their success on the pitch and called it a tyranny of the majority. That is ludicrous. I do not understand how you could name something a tyranny of the majority and actually think you're in the right here. It's like when the girl basically comes out and says, "It's not my fault, it's the thousands of exes that I've had." You are the common denominator. You are the one person that stays in the midst of all these relationships. So you can't tell me that you are absolutely blameless. That is absolutely not it. That is absolutely not the case. So in this sense, in this saying, they are basically saying it's not me, it's all of you. It's 19 of you that are basically jealous of our success. It continues, says, last month, City became the first club in English football history to win the league title in 4 consecutive seasons. The move comes a matter of months before the Premier League's disciplinary commission will hear over 100 charges against City for breaching its financial regulations, some of which date back in 2009. Some of which date back since 2009. Some of those charges relate to the amounts paid to City by sponsors linked to Abu Dhabi. The new rules around sponsorship deals were agreed earlier this year by required minimum of 14 clubs. At the time, the Premier League said they would move or they would enhance the efficiency and accuracy of the system. The Times report that in addition to this challenge to the rules, City were also claiming damages. That is one problem that we are having. That's basically the article from Simon Stone. And of course, when Simon Stone puts his name on an article, I do tend to believe a lot more than me just saying, okay, this is not really true or this is not really happening. So, this is a beautiful case of I wonder what is happening here. I wonder what is going to happen, and I cannot wait to see if there is a change. I cannot wait to see if there is an opportunity um to what do you call it, to kind of capture what is happening. To kind of capture what is happening. That is where the problem lies. Um, so today we keep on going. We keep on going, and we are going to kind of talk to you about some more things that are happening in the Premier League, some news. We're going to kind of give you about kind of situations that will be happening if we keep on moving forward, or when we keep on moving forward. Let's see. So this is what is happening right here. Do, 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 do. Um, yes. All right. So yeah. So we'll move into the next one now. We'll move into the next phase, and with that saying, um, we are absolutely going to talk to you about what is going to be happening next, and what is going to be the real discussion about the true nature of what is happening right now with the Premier League and everything kind of happening on it in a really quick pace that we might not be ready to kind of understand right now. But with that said, do, 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 do. I'm going to be giving you guys a little bit of the news that are happening right now. With the news happening right now, we are looking at um, Vincino Italiano on the verge of becoming the new Bologna manager until June 2016. Of course, we know he's going to be replacing Thiago Motta, that has really done a really good job. Do I know who he is? Unfortunately, I do not. But it's the beauty of sports. You get to see a lot of new people, and you get to kind of basically understand kind of how they're gonna do. Watch them grow to their growth and stuff like that. So we keep on pushing. So Arte Ben Yedder absolutely starts for Turkey against Italy tonight. I think that is a friendly. But one thing that we absolutely need to talk about, it says here, understand that Real Madrid are still working on Alfonso Davies' deal as new contacts as new contracts took place this week. Bayern Munich new contract proposal still valid, so it's up to Alfonso now to accept it or leave. Real Madrid will not pay the rumored fee over of 50 million pounds, only on favorable conditions. um, Olympic Olympic de Marseille working on Sergio Conceição appointment with confidence, but there are still details to clarify. Talks taking place. Olympic Marseille trying their best to make it happen, with negotiations to continue. Crucial hours and days ahead. Now we go into Laporta. Laporta is the president of Barcelona. He says Zubimendi. He's basically speaking on Zubimendi and Joshua Kimmich. He says, I don't think we will go for big names, as well as we do not plan to sell our stars. We are looking for a new winger and a new midfielder. We also have our own talents who could cover these positions. One thing about Laporta is he is never going to show you his hand. So if you think because he's saying this that they're not going to be going for Zubimendi or they're not going to go for Joshua Kimmich, you do not watch the sport as much. Laporta said we are not going to be selling Frankie de Jong. But Laporta accepted the deal of 60 to 80 million, if I'm not mistaken, for Frankie de Jong to Manchester United. Frankie de Jong refused to sign the deal for Manchester United, or refused the proposal of Manchester United. That's why Frankie de Jong is not wearing the red of Manchester. So when you're talking about Zubimendi and Joshua Kimmich, I believe they're going to pick one of them. I don't think they're going to take two of them, because yes, Joshua Kimmich is a Swiss Army knife. However, Zubimendi has a position that he loves to play, and that is also a position that Joshua Kimmich loves to play. So we do not think that that is going to happen. Of course, Barcelona are still dealing with a lot of their financial fair play in La Liga, with having a lot of money kind of being in the red that they need to absolutely sort out. But one thing about Laporta is he's going to sort it out. He is really good at what he does. Barcelona president Laporta claims we want both João Felix and João Cancel to stay. Deco is working on it. João Felix quality is something excellent. I am happy with his season. Hansi Flick already wanted Joao Felix at Bayern. Of course, that's one thing. Joao Felix is currently the manager of Barcelona. So one thing you absolutely know is um, is that Manchester United, Hansi Flick is absolutely going to try and keep Joao Felix because he sees a really good talent in Joao Felix. Barcelona president Laporta, we do not need to sell one top player with the current financial situation is not needed. This is a little bit of a tongue in cheek. It's a little bit of I do not want to show my cards. One thing that I can tell you is the financial situation of Barcelona is not yet resolved. Um, Now, do I know that? Do I see their books? No, I haven't seen their books, but their behavior would absolutely tell you this. We have a situation where they are looking to shop one of their best player last season. Last season, they were not able to register a lot of them until some of them left the club. They have a lot of young talents that they had to kind of ship out reluctantly because of this setting or this particular situation. So in that sense, that is where the problem lies. Laporta says Robert Lewandowski has rejected an important financial proposal to stay at Barcelona. Victor Roque is adapting to our world, our club, and new environment. He's getting into the rhythm. Of course, we know Victor Roque came from Manchester. Jesus, why am I always saying Manchester United? Because I talk too much about them. Victor Roque came from Brazil and did not have the greatest of seasons, and did not kind of get on well with Xavi, the former manager of Barcelona, famously. And now it's a situation where we have Victor Roque excited that Hansi Flick is coming in, and hopefully he can get a chance. Fabrizio Romano says Tosin Adara B Oyo Adara B Oyo um, is completing his medical today as Chelsea, as planned, taking place and being signed this week. Of course, we know that Chelsea has absolutely nicked this one also, and it's just what Chelsea does. He's joining Chelsea as a free agent, as exclusively revealed last week, of course, by Fabrizio Romano, the Don himself. Laporta continues saying, "I started thinking of Flick as Barca's manager since I rejoined the club. He started studying the team right after Xavi's announcement. All the reports we have on Flick were super positive. Deco and Borjan also have the same feeling. Flick had to be our coach." Okay, let's see now. Because one thing about Flick is he's a temperamental cat, and we will see kind of where the thing goes from here. And NASA confirmed Fernando Hiro as the new sporting director. Deal signed and completed. Here's Hiro with the CEO Riodo Fringia. Um, Laporta continues, says Xavi told me that he trusted this team, but then some of his statements looked like he changed his speech. Like it's caused me to rethink. I had the feeling that I had to do a change, also with the same feeling shared with the board. Well, that's kind of what happened with Xavi. It's quite unfortunate, but that's what we see. That's what we see. It's unfortunately kind of what it is. All right. Let's go into We're going to the next one. Of course, let's read some quotes of what Kylian Mbappe said. Paris Saint-Germain told me to my face at the beginning of the season that I was not going to play anymore. Luis Campos and Luis Enrique saved me. Bro, you were trying to leave the club. I don't know why are you behaving like you do not know why they were trying to put you on the bench. It was absolutely first, it was ludicrous from PSG because he really did not have an extra contract, and whether he was at the club played or not, you would have still paid him the large sum of money that you paid. So the fact that Luis Enrique said, "Hey, come back," Luis Campos, who is the director, said, "Hey, we need Mbappe. Let Mbappe play," and they dropped the ego and let him play. That's pretty good. So Kylian Mbappe says, "I am happy. I am very happy. You can see that smile on my face, and and a happy player can perform way better. I will play for the club of my dreams. I will be at Real Madrid for at a minimum 5 years." That is Kylian Mbappe saying he will be at Madrid for at least a minimum of 5 years, which is good news to the Madridistas, and pretty good. So Kylian Mbappe says, "I feel relieved. I arrived at Real Madrid with a lot of humbleness. It is the biggest club in the world. I want to thank President Florentino Perez. He trusted me since day one." That is pretty good, too. So now we are talking about finally Manchester United. A news comes out of Manchester United. It says Florentina director Prade, "I think Sofian Amrabat wants to stay in the Premier League, but Manchester United didn't tell us anything yet. I like to keep Amrabat at Fiorentina, but I think he has different plans." Now, this is the problem. Manchester United have absolutely put a stall to everything happening at Manchester United. We have not made a decision about the coach. We have not made a decision about the players that we are signing. We have not started placing bids. We are not retained Amrabat for the loan. He is going to be for what we need to get Amrabat is 20 million or less in pounds in terms of flat fee. Of course, we paid 9 million last season, so technically it will be around 29 million for Sofian Amrabat. But if you're talking about a talent like Sofian Amrabat, you will not see a talent like him for 29 million in this market. So why don't you absolutely take the Brinks truck, take the back up the Brinks truck to Florentina and says, "Hey, we are keeping the bald eagle. We are keeping Sofian Amrabat." Why don't you do that? It's too easy. It's 20 million pounds. It's 20 million pounds. You can get that from one or six games in concessions, from ticket prices and everything. You can get that immediately. So why don't you just back that up and give it to Fiorentina? This man, with what he showed us at the FA Cup, he is good enough to be a backup number six. He is good enough to be somebody that you can build the squad with. So why don't you give him the opportunity to do that? Back the Brinks truck and goddamn give them the opportunity to keep on building. All right, so more on Chelsea plans to continue with Robert Sanchez as a goalkeeper. Ben Roberts being nominated as head of global goalkeeping, one more factor to keep Sanchez. Enzo Maresca also informed Chelsea that he is happy to start working with Sanchez as revealed yesterday. Fabrizio Romano absolutely claims. Um, Now, this is a key thing, right? It says here Benfica's stance on João Neves is absolutely clear. 100 million euro release clause or no plans to negotiate for his exit this summer. Manchester United, Arsenal, and Manchester City scouts have been monitoring João for months. Benfica hope to keep him at the club. Bullshit. Benfica are not trying to keep João Neves. They're absolutely saying, "Give me the money. Tell me the money. Let's make that buck." That is absolutely what they're saying. But of course, they cannot say that. They cannot say that. The reason why they can't say that, it drops the price. It drops the price big time. So you can't really say that. Now let's get to Chelsea. Chelsea really appreciate Michael Olise. We will return to the Olise's case in the next days. Fabrizio Romano continues. But this is the problem. This is the problem. Manchester United are sleeping on the bicycle. Manchester United are absolutely taking off with the plane with the turnpike still connected. This is a problem. This is a problem, absolutely, because if we lose Michael Olise to Chelsea, that will be embarrassing. It will be embarrassing. It's not like we haven't for the entire season been scouting him. It's not like we haven't for the entire season been approved by the recruitment board to go for Michael Olise. We cannot afford to lose Michael Olise. So now we talk about Bayern Munich's transfer list as updated by Christian Folk. If there's one thing about Christian Folk is when it comes to Bayern Munich, he is spot on the money. It's like he goes into the meetings with Bayern Munich's directors and they absolutely just pour out everything Bayern Munich to him. He basically says Bayern Munich's transfer list updated. Xavi Simons from PSG. Jonathan Tah from Bayern Leverkusen. Frankie de Jong from Barcelona. Chris Froukert from Stuttgart. Joao Polinia from Fulham. Or Amadou Onana from Everton. I want you guys to understand. I said this at the start of the season. Who would I bring to replace Casemiro and to give Manchester United the complete midfield it needs? And I said it. Amadou Onana. It has been crystal. I have been clear about this. Manchester United need Amadou Onana. He is. Oh my God! I need to. If I let me give you guys Amadou Onana's um stats. Let me go to the transfer market. I'm going to go to the transfer market because I want to show you kind of what this guy has to offer. I want to show you what he has to offer. Um, okay, first, let's not do that. Let's just go to let's go to the stats. Stats. What am I doing? What am I doing? I need to get this better. I need to get this system a lot better. So you guys just bear with me. We are absolutely going to get it better. So let's go to footy starts. Of course, we all know footy start gives us kind of more of a comprehensive situation. Um, so we are looking at Amadou Onana here as in the starts from the 2023. No, let me not even look at the 2023-2024 season. Let's look up just one season back. Oh no, let's start with last season. It makes sense. So just one season back, we are looking at minutes played 2,815 minutes played. That basically means that brother has not missed a lot of games. Brother has played 30 games in the Premier League, 30 games in the Premier League, 4 games in the League Cup, 3 games in the FA Cup, and 2 international friendlies. So in total, he played 39 games. He scored 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 yellow cards, 0 red cards for that. So in when it comes to goals, he's in the 57th percentile. Assist, he's in the 37th percentile. Goal contributions, 37th. Expected goals, 58th percentile. But this is the thing. We are not looking at Amadou Onana for his attacking prowess. We're looking for him for his defensive, for him being able to carry the ball from one 18-yard box to the other. That is what we're looking at. That is what we need to focus on. So now we are going to be giving you guys a detailed. So this is 30 matches played in the Premier League, right? Of course, he has played over 70. Every game he plays to over 70 minutes, if not 90 minutes directly. His annual salary is 6 million thereabout. That is in the 78th percentile right now. So we still have the opportunity to say we are going to bump up your contract without going crazy for Amadou Onana. You get me? Without going crazy for Amadou Onana. Like I said, we are not going to be talking about the attacking prowess. I am looking for the defensive prowess. But before we do that, let us look at the assist, the passing and chance creation. So assist, of course, he's in 39 percentile. That is not his prowess. Expected assist, 35 percentile. Passes, this is also a key thing. Passes in a game, he usually total game or the total he gets 982 passes. Per 90, he gets 44.17 passes. It could be higher, but this is the 64th percentile. This is in the middle of the park when it comes to midfielders in his position. Successful passes, out of the 44, he gets 37 right. Out of the 44, he gets 37 right. He is in the 66th percentile for that particular one. Pass completion rate, he gets 85 of his pass completions. That is remarkable. 85 in a midfielder that is in the team of Everton. That is remarkable. Key passes, he is in the 51 percentile. However, he gets 0.81 key passes every game. In total, in the season, he got 18 key passes. For the crosses, he's in 0.13 key per minute. Okay? Plus completion rate, he is in the 91st percentile. So he still has takers. He still can play with his feet. He's not just a combative midfielder. So now let's keep on going. Remember, I told you about carrying the ball from one end to the other. This is where we come into dribble success rate. He is in the total dribble success rate. He is 62.5% this season, and he is in the 76th percentile for midfielders in his brackets, right? For his midfielders in these brackets. Now let's get to a position, right? Let's get to a position in defensive stats. In his defensive stats, you get me? In his defensive stats, this is what we're looking at. Goals conceded, he is in the 51 percentile. So at Everton, he conceded 1.46 goals per 90. It is fine. It is Everton. They are always going to be on the receiving end of a good team. That's Everton. That is Sunday's way of playing football. Clean sheet. Has 25 or 27% in the Premier League. That means he had 8 clean sheets in the Premier League. Tackles. Bear in mind, this is where Amadou Onana shines. The tackles from Amadou Onana, because remember, we want a combative midfielder that can tackle, that is strong enough to cover side to side, front to back, as a midfielder in order to allow Kobe Menu push forward, in order to allow Bruno Fernandes stay forward and not need to come back. What's up, Rich? How you doing, brother? How you doing? This is Amadou Onana's bread and butter. This is Amadou Onana's bread and butter. Amadou Onana, when it comes to tackles, ranks in the 92nd percentile of all midfielders in his area of expertise. Of all midfielders in his area of expertise. And then we go into interceptions. That basically in the tackles we are looking at 2.97 tackles every game, every 90 minutes. That is basically 3 tackles every 90 minutes, which is immense, which is immense. You get me? Classic Rich says, "I'm good, my brother. Just listening to your analysis. Thank you, man. I hope you're enjoying it, and I hope you absolutely give me what you think, because I absolutely love when you guys tell me the things that you think will be better. I think you guys are smart and you watch football just as much as I do, and of course, I would love to hear your analysis too. The interceptions that he gets as a midfielder, as a combative defensive midfielder. He's in the 68th percentile. He's in the 68th percentile. That means he gets about 0.94 interceptions every 90 minutes. Now we go to ground duels. Bear in mind, I said he is a combative, athletic midfielder. And this is what we are looking for. In the midfield, to give Kobe Menu the ability to move forward without needing to come back, to give Kobe Menu to give Eric Ten Hag or whoever the coach is, the saying, okay, I'm going to put a single pivot on the ground, and I would not need to worry about the pitch being so wide open. Amadou Onana is your man. This is someone that is athletic, he is strong, and he has the ability to dribble past people. So in the interceptions, he has 0.94 interceptions per 90. Now we keep on going. In the ground duels, we are looking at 11.65 ground duels that he does every 90 minutes. He is in the 76th percentile. Now we go to ground duels one. So bear in mind, he does 11.65 ground duels every 90 minutes. But ground duels one, he is in the 96th percentile. So nobody does it. Very few people do it better than him. Soccer Gamer, thank you. Shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to you. Thank you for joining us. Nobody does ground duels one better than Amadou Onana. Bear in mind, if you're just joining us, we are talking about, in general, what are the news happening to Manchester United? What are the things Manchester United, and how we got to Amadou Onana is because Bayern Munich is putting him on the list for their team. They are looking at the transfer list, and Christian Folk has said that Amadou Onana is on Bayern Munich list for next season. So we keep on going. Ground duels one. He is in the 96th percentile. That means he wins 7.60 ground duels every 90 minutes. Do you know what we could have done with 7.60 interceptions this season? It would have been crazy. We would have had a lot of defensive solidities. A lot of teams would not be breaking us like a knife through butter. That is what that gives you. Now we keep on going. Aerial duels one. He is in the 86th percentile. Still in the A plus grade. This is the best of the best aerial duels. Bear in mind, Amadou Onana is 192 centimeters. I don't even know what that is in feet, but somebody in the chat can absolutely tell me. Somebody in the chat can absolutely tell me. So this is what we are having in in um in interceptions. Now, a beautiful thing about being dribbled past, right? He in the entire season, he has been dribbled past 19 times. In 38 games, he has been dribbled past 19 times. He is in the 39th percentile for people driven past. I'm telling you, this guy is a good player. This guy is pretty good. And if I was to get anybody, I would absolutely, with my full chest, go and get Amadou Onana. But I want to also have us talk about Feyenoord. right? Feyenoord. How do you pronounce them again? Feyenoord. And this player in Feyenoord um, players, because everybody is talking about this Vayner guy and how he is absolutely the next best thing, and we should absolutely look into him. So we are going to look into him today, and I want you guys to also understand as we look into him, we want to absolutely get the best guy to do the job. We are doing our scouting report right now. We are doing our scouting report right now, and in that case, let us get to the best option for Manchester United. Matt Viver, that's his name, I think. Matt Viver. Yes, I think that's his name. Yes, perfect. So we're looking at Matt Viver's soccer stats, and we're going to be looking at the footy stats. That's where we're getting all our stats from. I think it's pretty clear on what they do for a living, but we are going to basically be giving you guys kind of breakdown of who he is. Now, Mark Viver is 6'2" in terms of height. He is 24 years of age. He is Netherlands and he's a right-footed player. Of course, now let's go into the situation. Let's go to who he is per se. McViver is, of course, he played 29 games in the Eredivisie, which is 2,591 minutes in total. Um, Soccer Gamer says, I think Rashford is going to leave. I don't think so. I think he's still in the plans of Manchester United as a whole. He's the face of Manchester United, to be honest with you. Um, and he absolutely is going to stay, in my opinion. So when it comes to minutes played, oh my lord, when it comes to minutes played, Viver is in the 83 percentile, but this is the key thing here. He is having an estimated salary, annual salary of £420,000. That is cheap. £420,000. My God, he is getting paid peanuts when it comes to football players. He is getting paid peanuts. I hope you guys are understanding what I'm talking about. Viver, Viver is getting paid peanuts. Right. He's getting paid absolute peanuts when it comes to football players. Now we keep on going. I want you guys to understand we are doing a scouting what do you call it? A scouting season right now. We are basically talking about these players that will absolutely unlock the abilities of Kobe Manu. I see Kobe Manu as a number 8, somebody that can absolutely go from back to forward. He can basically play whatever position you want him to play, and that is Kobe Manu for you. And in that saying, let us look that can absolutely take his place or sit in a position where Kobe Mano will be free to do what he needs to do. Now, the first thing that I'm seeing about this Matt Viver is that he is really good. Based on the stats, now I know the stats don't really tell everything, but based on the stats, Matt Viver has basically I haven't even gotten into the defense. I'm just in the dribbling because, like I said, the quality of players that we need is a strong player that's athletic, that can cover side to side, both white lines, and that can cover from front to back. Someone that can absolutely switch going forward, but has the pace to come back fast enough, and someone that is combative, and someone that can absolutely carry the ball from the defense all the way to the forward. Now, those are the four characteristics of the number 6 that I personally think would unlock Kobe Mano and Bruno Fernandes. And as we say, when we are looking at Matt Viver, we are looking at assist. He had 3 assists last season, which took him to the 59 percentile, with an expected assist of 5.87. So he went pretty close. He went pretty close to an assist per minute. Per 90 minutes, he gets 0.21 assist every game, every 90 minutes. With the passes, he has over 1,768 passes. That means he touches the ball a lot. He basically is comfortable saying, hey, give me the ball. Give me the ball and I'm going to make something happen. He's comfortable in doing that. And with that says, he basically passes 62.20 times every 90 minutes, which puts him at a 92 percentile in the entire footballing community in his position. Successful passes. Now, this is the key thing. This is the key part about the position that we need to play because that position needs to be able to give consecutive passes, give passes without losing the ball, just like Rodri is. Because the gold standard for Manchester United is Rodri. We need to find our Rodri, someone that would keep the ball, would recycle the play, would know when to increase the tempo, would know when to reduce the tempo, and would absolutely be the merchant, be the maestro of Manchester United's midfield. Whether you're going forward or you're going back, he controls a ton. So with Matt Viver, we are looking at successful passes. He made 1,484 successful passes out of 1,786, which puts him in the 90 percentile, which is amazing. Bear in mind, this is amazing. He, he, he basically passes 62 times and only loses the ball 10 times in the entire game. And that is giving him 52.21 passes, successful passes in 90 minutes. We have key passes. Every game he scores or he gives 1.34 key passes, which keeps him at a 69 percentile. Crosses 0.49, which is pretty good too. The dribbles, we are looking, remember our characteristics. The dribbles are key. We need somebody that is able to carry the ball, start the play, absolutely become press resistant to the presses that happen to Manchester United. And with that saying, we are looking at dribbles also. When the dribbles, he's in the 70 percentile with 1.72 dribbles per 90. With successful dribbles, he's in the 1.09, which drops a little bit. So he attempts more, but sometimes he gets pickpockets or pickpocketed. But this is the key thing, right? This is the key thing. I want us to go to the defensive stats. The defensive stat is absolute ludicrous. There is nothing that is red apart from being dribbled past. There's absolutely nothing that is red apart from being dribbled past. So we're looking at goals conceded. He concedes 0.73 per 90. This is the defensive stats. He concedes 0.73 per 90. That is pretty nice for a defender or for a midfielder. He is in the 91 percentile in goals conceded. So they do not score a lot of goals on him. They do not. Bear in mind, Amadou Onana in the defense, they score, in his defense, they score 1.46. So in every 90 minutes, there is a goal in Amadou Onana's net. Sometimes two. But for Viver, it's one. Just one. And that is if. Okay, so now we go into clean sheets. This is ludicrous. He has 15 clean sheets out of 29 games. That means 52% of the time, it's a clean sheet from Viver. He is an amazing player, soccer gamer. This is ludicrous. I am changing my mind as we speak. As I'm looking at his stats, I was always siding with Amadou Onana because of his strength and his abilities on the ball with the tackle. But Viver, my God, tackles. He does 2.78 tackles per 90, which is the 93 percentile. Interceptions 1.55, which is in the 94th percentile. Ground duels, my word, in 90 minutes, he attempts 14.74 ground duels. Successful ground duels, which is the ground duels won, he gets 8.34. So out of 14, he gets 8 of them. That's a 50% basically difference. And in that sense, he is in the 98th percentile. So only 2% is better than him in doing ground duels. My Lord. Aerial duels, we have 3.27. He is in the 93rd percentile. Now, dribble past. I don't know which way this goes. Because dribble past, he was dribbled past 40 times last season, which put him in the 8th percentile. I'm a little bit skeptical. The clearances, he's in the 51 percentile. Shots block, he's in the 83 percentile. Penalties given away, he is in the 99th percentile. He has never given a penalty away last season. He never gave a penalty away last season. Ah, brothers and sisters, we might have found our Rodri. This man was coached. He was coached by Hansi, no, Angie Sloth, the current Liverpool manager. The current Liverpool manager. He was coached by the current Liverpool manager. My only hope is if Manchester United have not been looking at this boy, they need to scrap the entire scouting system. They need to scrap the entire scouting system that we have in Manchester United. If they haven't sent scouts to go watch this boy, they need to scrap it. They need to scrap it. You get me? This value, his market value, right? His market value right now is only 27 million pounds. Soccer Gamer, are you hearing what I'm saying? His market value is 27 million pounds. Man, I'm back in the Brinks truck. I am back in the Brinks truck. I am saying, take my money. For this kind of player, my word. My word. He is a talent, I tell you. He is a talent. But I'm definitely gonna make a video about I'm definitely gonna make a video about Matt Viver to Manchester United. I hope he gets to Manchester United. Because if we are looking to replace Casemiro, if we are looking to replace Casemiro, he is a prime candidate for that. He is a prime for that. So we absolutely need to do something. We need to make sure that we absolutely. It's a steal. It's a steal. You get me? It's an absolute steal. 27 million pounds? Oh, take my money. Take my credit card. Take it all. For that kind of player, amazing. Truly amazing. Anyway, for YouTube, just to kind of recap what we've spoken about, we were speaking about Manchester City suing um, the Premier League for um, for discrimination, citing the ideas of tyranny by the majority. I have never understood that of what a tyranny by the majority is. but that is what Manchester City are assuming. So in that sense, you two, I'm going to bid you guys good night. Make sure you guys from TikTok come join us on YouTube, and make sure you guys from YouTube come join us on TikTok. TikTok is going to be a lot of short form content, directly to the point, and then with with YouTube, what we are going to be doing is we're going to be going in depth, just like how we did with Viva today. We're going to be going in depth about the players and how we think they would fit well in Manchester United. So without further ado, YouTube, I bid you guys good night and God bless.